Hey everybody, it's just Fun82. It's been a while, but you know, I love Fallout, so I really couldn't pass this up, and someone was kind enough to get me a copy of this game. And, well, I saw the opportunity to get in on the beta, so why not? I know it's going to be a lot different than my normal videos if you're one of my old viewers, and if you're someone who just is finding my channel, then I'm sorry. I don't really do this sort of thing frequently. Normally I just kind of do ranty videos while I play the game, and they're very uninteresting. But this is just me playing the game for fun, which, honestly, I quite enjoy. I've never done an edited video or video with voiceover before, but I wanted to get a bit more thought into what I think of the game. And in spite of that, expect to hear me say about every 5 seconds. So if that annoys you, be prepared to be annoyed. Now, I'm not going to lie, I went into this game expecting that I would like it, but not expecting it to feel as much like Fallout to me as it did. And I've been playing since Fallout 1, and to be perfectly honest, a change in the style of the game doesn't bother me as much as it does other people. It's not a big deal to me that the game has changed from being a single-player, first-person shooter, because before that it was an isometric real-time strategy and a few other weird incarnations. I mean, Fallout 1 and 2 are still two of my favorite games, but tactics is not terrible. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel I like to pretend doesn't exist, but it does. I mean, New Vegas and Fallout 3 were a drastic change from Fallout 2, so honestly, it's not like it's gonna be something new for the style to change. Anyway, I figure I'll just let you know that in advance, in case you don't like the game. You're probably not going to be liking what I have to say. But I'm going to give it an honest critique where I can, just because it's something I like does not mean I am going to fanboy over everything. There are honest flaws I saw, and actually I may have edited most of them out. I tried to cut this video down to a reasonable length because it was 4 hours and 20 minutes long. And to be perfectly honest, at that point, there were long stretches of nothing happening. I also, I picked that character because it looked like Sheffield from Fallout 4. And forgot that I am completely brain dead when it comes to actually being able to type. And it's the PS4 edition, so the switching between controller and keyboard for someone with limited brain function like myself wasn't exactly an easy task. So I picked the standard name, Plimsoll. But then I know something about this, which is the camera can wander around the room you're in completely. I was actually hoping I could go out and take a picture of the Pip-Boy for my ID card, but it will not let me. So I tried to pick something else. I thought of the guitar, but I figured lots of people would do that. I was going to try and get a good angle on the board game because it's ugly as sin, just the colors. And then I noticed the beer bottle. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be unique. And by unique, I mean like several thousand other people do this. I grabbed the holotape, of course, before I do anything else. I didn't play it because I didn't see any reason to. You've seen videos of other people playing it, probably. I do like the Tercentenary poster. Around this time I realized that the people outside of the room I'm in, while I couldn't see any of them, they do have the voice chat on. So I picked up the Pip-Boy, and you'll notice a very, very large cut, actually, because there's nothing too interesting that happens inside of the vault. So there's no real point in showing that again. So outside the vault, I decided to give it a little bit of a look-see. I decided to just wander around a bit, and I kind of know where things are because I have watched other people playing it. So it's not like, oh, this is all going to be a surprise to me. What's going to be a surprise to you, though, is how terrible my aim is. It is just miserable. And I actually managed to waste almost all of my ammunition just in this starting area. Like, no kidding, just flailing wildly, shooting bullets in every direction like an idiot. And that's, to be perfectly honest, how I am in every game. It takes me a while to get used to it, but I like that in this game. It will help people out a lot. At this point, I was just continuing to look around. I'm trying not to just sound like I'm giving a really boring play-by-play. I can't remember if... No. My friend, the one who actually purchased me this game, who I used to record some videos with, went by the name of Mr. Nobody Special, I think. It's been ages. I'm just gonna call him by his name, which is, you know, Aiden, because it'll be easier. But, yeah, disappeared through the floor. But, at this point, I think this is where we were starting to try to get him to actually be able to join the game. It was turning out to be very awkward because the servers were all... Oh, no, this is the part where he's still making characters. He spent a lot more time on his character than I did. And you'll notice that it actually is a distinct and unique-ish looking character. As much as you can do in a Bethesda game. When you see him, which will be in a while. There's not a lot that well, I was glad I found the combat knife, but I decided to kind of just absolutely fuck off, since everyone I have seen do this kind of follows the main scenario, and I just like fucking off in Bethesda games. My goal for this session was actually to try and find a power armor frame, but doesn't quite get there. I did find power armor, though, and that's something you're going to be very interested in. And it turns out those little fuckers can jump on your face, and I hate them. But you'll see towards the end of it. Honestly, I'll probably put the title just so people will know. I find the blueprints to the mining power armor frame later in the video. Unfortunately, I haven't actually finished editing the video yet, so I can't tell you the exact moment or like the exact location. It'll be in the comments. Or not the comments, the description or the title, I promise. So you won't have to sit and listen to me babble like a jackass this time. Which means you're probably not even going to hear this. That's fine. I'm not that interested in my videos either. But, like I said, a lot of editing so that it'll cut out a lot of the fat and hopefully make things, like, slightly more interesting. There's a lot to be found in this world. I was actually really pleased with that. I wandered a lot. Just in one long, straight line and barely... Well, there are obstacles in the way, obviously. I ran into several things that were not within my realm of ability yet. You'll probably end up getting a few pauses where I decide to let the audio go silent. Sorry, I don't have like a good recording quality, so you're gonna hear fuzz in the background, and you'll hear it cut in and out when I cut out. That pipe wrench actually served me for like 2 hours of the 4-hour beta. I mean, I got better weapons, I was just stupid. Oh yeah, you're also gonna see me wasting a lot, and I mean a lot of stim packs, so... Like, they warned everyone, be careful, because the stim packs are going to be very, very rare later, and they're not kidding. But at the same time, I did not find the sense in my head to save them. But, oh god, there's a good shotgun in here, actually, I found, which was pretty nice. I'm actually very pleased with the designs. It feels really rural to me. Rural. Yeah, fucking hell. It feels really rural to me. I mean, my grandparents actually have always lived in the West Virginia area, and I've spent a lot of time there growing up, and I absolutely despised every moment of it. I'll tell you that much. There's nothing to do there. But it feels right. I mean, I might like it now that I'm older, but I doubt it. And yeah, there's that short pumpkin shotgun. Fuck my life. Pump action shotgun. And no, I'm probably not going to edit these and do any other takes or things like that, because that would require, I don't know, skill, intelligence. What's the word I'm looking for? I think I missed a helmet there that would have been really handy. What's the word I'm trying to think. Oh well, it won't work. It's actually like 3 a.m. right now that I'm recording this because I want to. Yeah, I don't even know what's going to get done, but I'm trying to get as much work done on it as I can. iBots. This is about the point where I started figuring out how VATs worked and started actually really liking it. I realized you can't just kind of panic and flail around, especially if you're using a melee weapon. I ended up, like I said, sticking with the wrench as a melee weapon for a long time. It really benefited me. It was really handy. I can't recommend enough finding one if you can early in the game. Though I think the machete you find on the steps is probably better because there's a slow. It just felt like a good weapon. I found this town not too long down the road. I headed south because I didn't know if any of the videos I'd seen had involved people heading south, and this is actually my first encounter with Scorched, I think. And you can see that there's a nice town. I actually kind of wanted to try and set up my camp around here, but I didn't have the ability to do so. I guess because it's a location, it's not like somewhere you can build, because it's already got a marker on the map. And I'm fairly certain the way the nukes are going to work is that you can hit any marker on the map, but not just random areas on the map. So you probably won't ever be able to attack someone's camp. And that's smart, but of course I get the feeling that you'll be able to attack like the areas adjacent to their camp, and from the videos I've seen of the actual blast radius, there's going to be a lot of fallout, and probably it'll take out camps nearby. But I'll just let you watch the video of me failing for a little while in science. Yeah, god damn it. Silence! Didn't take long for my dumbass to start talking, and did it. At this point, I'm actually trying to put down my camp to see if I can find somewhere nice and dump off all of my stuff. I'm actually really concerned playing this game about the whole people can just kill you and take your shit, but it really wasn't that big a deal throughout the entire thing. I did almost never run into a single person. Like, the only time I did was when I was trying to do the main scenario. Of course, that's because early in everyone's trying to do the main scenario, so fucking off just means that you're not gonna see anyone anywhere, and that's fine. I'd rather not see people for large stretches, because then it does actually kind of become a, oh look, people, this is exciting scenario, which is what they were going for. I will add, I know I already killed it, but I'll add that blood bugs are still assholes. And, I really, really hate fighting them, and always have. I mean, I guess that's the whole point, but they get a tad frustrating. I don't know, there's good eating on them, apparently. I stop and make a bunch of food, because I assumed at this point that food was going to be way more important than it actually was. So I turned every spare thing I have into food. Food does have a decay rate, but it doesn't actually seem to be of any use at all. Yeah, this is one of the random events that you find across the board, and I need to stop smacking my lips, but my mouth is actually horribly dry right now. There was one small problem with this event for me, though, which was that it was completely fecking broken. Like, I absolutely could not get the damn thing to respond properly. After the Mr. Handy starts working, there's just, you know, he just stands around until a mob shows up and then he kills it. I don't know if that's what he's supposed to do or not, but it could have just been a bug. It could have been me not understanding it. It was like, yeah, get him to his destination. And yeah, I mean, he just kind of stands around and chats a bit. Good day to you. Yes, I do like the dialogue, though. But yeah, this is pretty much all he does. And then he heads over there in a moment because there's mobs. So that's the only reason he moves. And yeah, it's just, I know it's a Bethesda game. There's going to be broken AI, but this was just kind of a, okay, I really want to try one of these events. I don't think I bothered trying an event after that. And yes, giant piles of Scorch just being a gigantic dick bag. But lots of ammo, and that was really useful early in the game. So I do recommend just farming Scorched if you can find a nice sized pile of them. So this area was a little interesting because the, well, if you'll notice, the AI on the first Scorched I run into, I started to say ghoul, I keep wanting to say ghoul. The AI on the first Scorched I run into is just broken, so I just shoot them dead. I mean, it wasn't a long pause, but it was, oh yeah, the first round, I don't know, pinged Scorched. I'll have to look up what those are called eventually, but that would require any level of pride in my work, forethought, planning, etc. But to be perfectly honest, I'm doing this for like 3 or 4 viewers of mine who I absolutely know will watch this, who, you know, occasionally still ask me, hey, you're gonna do videos? And I feel like I kind of want to do some sub-day. You know, and I guess this is today. Yeah, we had a, I don't know, glitched matrix scorched. There's my friend Aiden, who we are at that point attempting to, I believe he is attempting to join my game at this point. But the servers were all full and it was very awkward. So, I didn't go that far from there, I don't think, before... the Silva Homestead was actually an area I was kind of staking out, hoping I could turn it into a base, because I had not quite figured out I couldn't put my camp down around them yet, but that and I was out of caps. But just a neat little area, and the Scorch actually just... That was a moment that I left in, because I wasn't even sure what the Scorch was doing. It looked like it was playing with a toy car. I'm not honestly sure. And that just actually caught me a little bit off guard. The leather chest piece was a nice find too, because that was the first piece of armor I'd gotten. It's a little weird, the whole, the cursed, scorched, still behave, also a recipe that was not a bad find either. They still behave somewhat human. Alright, yeah, here's me. I think I was trying to join this game again, and I think this one succeeded. I just left in a small clip, and I don't know why. There's no practical purpose of me doing that, but here we go. And team invite is actually... I do like the controls, the menus, and how Bethesda has set this up. It's actually very intuitive. You just have to hold down the options button and boom, join mission, invite people to team. My voice cracking like I'm fucking prepubescent hamster. But it worked really well. We decided, I think at this point, that we were going to just like hop in or hop around and attempt to do a couple of actual missions. I dropped a hatchet for Aiden because, you know, I didn't know if he had gear or not, but he had already actually picked up a couple pieces of very valuable early equipment just around the area.
Seems you should meet her at her camp just down the road.
Ah, yeah, and the main scenario quest. Honestly, the main scenario is interesting and all, but I decided I kind of wanted to do that sometime when, I'm probably going to do that solo. I'm looking forward to the next time. I probably won't end up recording that, or if I do end up recording that, I'll probably just put it up without audio. I could just record a live commentary, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not any more clever or witty or intelligent in any way, shape, or form when I record this stuff in advance. Or, not advance. Yeah, when I record this stuff in advance or after the fact or with a script, there's no point. I just say whatever the hell I want anyway. It's not interesting, but for some reason there are a couple people who really used to like it when I do that. So this is basically a big shout out to them and thanks for being cool people.
But it's been 25 years. I just don't know what we're gonna find out there. Or where to start. My directive was to go to the nearest population center and assess the situation. I'll set up a camp on the way once I get my bearings. Find me there.
Now, this is kind of interesting thing. We end up fighting the little Crown King, Canadian, whatever the hell it is, Scorched, as you'll notice. And he and I actually got almost identical gear from the drop, so I wonder if that means that the gear that they drop is specific to, like, I don't know, their level. So they'll drop X, Y, or Z, because the King Scorched we killed dropped, yeah, literally the same gear. Like, well, the same armor pieces. I think the incidental loot was just as uninteresting. But yeah, it was just interesting to see that, because since the loot is unique to the person, it lets you know that there's some sort of, well, set parameter. So, I'm not gonna lie. They've made Protectrons a lot more common now than they have been in the other games. I mean, they're not uncommon, but since they don't have any actual, like, NPC humans like raiders and stuff like that, they just kind of went a little bit overboard on the Protectrons. They're not, like... I guess it makes sense since there would be more around, but it just seems a little bit silly that it's like robots everywhere. But yeah, we followed the main quest line for a little while. There's not much I can say about it. I do know kind of where it goes because I've paid a lot of attention to other people's plays, which is why I decided I wasn't going to follow it that long. We kind of did a little bit more, but Aiden and I were both of the opinion that it would be way more trouble to wander off and just get into as much trouble as possible.
The stash box, the workbenches, all built with the camp. You need a home base out there. The construction and assembly mobile platform is designed to give you one. You just add resources, planning, and a little elbow grease. When you move your camp, everything you've built is stored, ready to be placed back down in the new area. Use this to establish a foothold whenever you're in unfamiliar territory. I've left my camp behind so you can use it. I know I'm breaking my own advice by not taking it with me. But after seeing Appalachia for myself, I need to make sure every resident of 76 has a safe haven they can start with. I'll make do without it. If it's still standing, the town of Flatwoods is further down this road. Find me there. This is the Overseer, signing off.
This is just a update. Feral dogs are still assholes. Absolutely 100% assholes. I mean, there's literally a pile of meat on the ground. Well, wild mongrels, but... And they're just like, nah, attack these assholes. But... I mean, they're kind of important because of the meat now, I suppose. The food is way more of an issue. But there's... Honestly, I have yet to run a situation where I'm running out of food. And yeah, I actually, at this point, yelled chicken and took off because I wanted to shoot the chicken. If you ever hear them, I've heard that they make very good food. Which is why I detoured in order to kill both of them. I mean, I know they make good food in real life, because I've been in real life before. I can't help but think that this would be an interesting game. I know that there's YouTubers like Many a True Nerd who like to use theme characters in playthroughs. Seems like a really difficult playthrough of this would be playing it through as a vegetarian. I would be interested in seeing someone try that, but I have a feeling it would be very difficult. This is where we started seeing signs of other players. Not that we couldn't simply look around and realize. And that's also where we saw the sign of the first major fucking lag spike. Though that could, in all fairness, be my PlayStation 4 and its processing power. Because it's just a PS4, not a PS4 Pro. It is a slim, but, you know, there's a person. We ignore him because we don't care about people. There's another person, if you can really believe that. Galley Mine, Recon, Memo, Responders. I didn't really pay much attention to these. I know what happens. Lots of lag spikes. Very awkward. But, you know, the dialogue is actually kind of emotional. If you get attached to NPCs and stuff in games, it's actually a little bit heartbreaking. There's all sorts of stuff related to them where you realize these are people who are all likable, real human beings, and every last one of them is dead. It's kind of awkward to think about it that way, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure it was done on purpose because, you know, Bethesda. They're good at stories. They might not be good at fine details, but they're very good at stories, and the opinion of someone who is very, very easily amused.
I'll call this series the Survivor Stories. I'll start with me. I was an anthropology PhD.
Welcome back, dear listeners. It's time once again to put aside all you think you know, all you believe to be true. Time to open your mind to the strange, bizarre, and sometimes terrifying world that exists in the shadows and fringes of our own, where myth, legend, and rumor are made real. Yes, it's time for more thrilling tales from the West Virginia hills. Tonight's episode...
So it was around this point, we honestly didn't even know if we were on the main scenario or not, or following a quest. We were barely paying attention to anything. Not that the main scenario and the main quest aren't interesting, you just think there's probably a lot more interesting stuff to do in this game. So we decided just to fuck off and have fun, and that's when we noticed the quest marker here and decided to check it out. It was, in fact, a rather, how should I put this, clusterfucky decision, but it was also not, like, it was not a bad decision. Obviously.
Potential source found.
I'm sorry, it's actually just about 3:20 a.m., so my brain shut off a while ago. But I'm trying to at least do most of this tonight. That way, and there's a ghoul with broken AI, just absolutely broken, does not give a half a shit that we're there. It probably is 3 days from retirement or something, and is just trying to avoid it. Actually, it was probably 3 days from retirement before it became a ghoul, so now it's just sad and depressed that it is a ghoul and it will never retire. I mean, I suppose that's kind of valid. I don't know, I'm battling. This is actually pretty close to what my normal videos used to be like, except, you know, no, pretty much still not funny. I don't know why I was going to correct myself and say funnier. That was never true. Just the guy with the annoying voice who babbles like a jackass. So, the fighting in this was honestly... The fighting is... Okay, time for some actual criticism. The fighting in this game becomes very formulaic when it's not pure chaos. I feel like that's a fair negative, to be honest. There's... Yeah, you notice how all of its hit points disappear and then reappear. But, like, when you're not just going, okay, I'm gonna back up and VATS and shoot this thing... and I'm just gonna keep backing straight up, then it's just me going, oh god, oh shit, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, which you'll see some of later, and it is, you know, very valid, oh god, oh shit, but it just feels like I'd like there to be a bit more variety in the combat, like, something that requires thinking and not reaction would be fun. But, to be fair, Bethesda's games have never really had... The combat in them has never been challenging. It's just been energetic, I guess is how I would put that.
Overseers, let's call these personal journals. Not an official log, just something for me. The Agricultural Center, one of my first posts with B.E.T.A. I was so excited because I used to come to this same farm when I was a kid. I remember one year at the Autumn Festival, me running through the corn maze. Going every which way, Mom and Dad yelling after me to slow down. Wasn't gonna happen. I guess I was always hitting life fast. Couldn't just be a pioneer scout, I had to make troop leader. Couldn't just be a good student. I had to have straight A's. God, I miss those early days. Just being a kid. The three of us, our simple life, our simple house.
By the time we got outside, after having just been through that little bit of quest, all fucks were gone. Also, the head pop in before the body was a little bit creepy, not gonna lie. I mean, it's still not bad, but with 4 hours, I couldn't just feel myself sticking to the main plotline. There's way too much to see, way too much to do, and people have all seen it anyway. I mean, anyone who's watched even a few, like 1 or 2 live streams, let's plays, whatever, of the beta has already seen probably the first few story missions. They may have even seen people get up to, like, decently late in it, but not very far. Sorry, my chair is creaky, and if you hear me, like, inhaling loudly and annoyingly, it's because I actually have a very, very bad chest hold right now. But, you know, the fuck are you gonna do? Ah, there's a gnome over there I should have touched. That sounds wrong, but I should have, because the first one made a creepy laughing noise, and I want to touch all of the gnomes to see if all of them do that. Creaky old rocking chair, hooray. I am super excited for this game. I just hope that there are some substantial changes made. What I'd like to see, honestly, is the ability to opt out of PvP entirely. I feel like I'm a creative gameplay, or not, well, a creative and cooperative game player. I don't want to do PvP, and the few times I've ever done it have been few and far between. So I like for an option just to go, nah, I don't want to, or, you know, no thanks, fam. Just something like that. But the option of you can choose not to attack people, but they can still murder you it's a middle ground that will only actually, like, it'll please trolls and griefers. That's it. Yeah, I'm not even sure why I left this clip in here. Oh yeah, to show the actual picking of you know, pacifism after I pick the perks, because it just seems like there should be, or PvP only servers, or, you know, where servers where you can't turn PvP off, something like that. Because at the moment with the wanted system, actually it's kind of broken. Okay, maybe I did not include the clip. No, here it is. Yeah, the way the wanted system is broken as of me mentioning this, as far as I know, unless they patched it tonight, is that you get a wanted when you kill someone, but they can be killed by their own teammates. So someone gets wanted for killing you, then they just have their teammates kill them, they come back, grab their shit, and leave. Plus, the revenge system is so broken that the person who you get revenge on for murdering you in cold blood can then murder you again immediately. Because they get to do a revenge spawn, which means they respawn nearby and can just screw you over. Now, this actually is a pretty neat area. It was actually kind of exciting to find at first, the military base. All of the friendly gutsies just messing around. Seemed like they might be very valuable if ever you're running. But, to be perfectly honest, since you can't set a base up here, and the ammo vending machine is actually very useful, though. I don't know how often they restock, is the thing. I should have bought shotgun shells while I was there, because I did later find good shotguns, but I saved my caps for moving my base. Kind of a smart move at this early stage.
As we bring in a new age of automation to train new soldiers for the fronts faster and more efficient.
Overseer's alone. Camp McClintock. Whew. Maybe I'm going crazy, but it was nice to put on the uniform and play pretend with a bunch of robot drill sergeants. I actually think I learned a thing or two about marksmanship. I wonder, now that I'm in the Army, is my official title Overseer Private or Private Overseer? Oh, time to see if I can fool a few automated identification systems.
Aiden was actually the one to activate this quest without,
What do we have here?
well, I didn't do it. Turns out that
You were, huh?
only the person who picks up the quest can advance the quest, so I could not actually take part in it in any substantial way, which was mildly annoying because there are certain rewards you get during the quest or activities you have to do that I couldn't do or get because he had activated the quest. And that's not like a criticism of him not going to be that type of dickhead. But like I could pick up the uniform distribution log and it would mention, oh, you've got to go here, blah, 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 and this is the here, blah. Oh, no, wait, this is later in the quest where you actually have to try and do a bunch of tasks. This one involves figuring out who is the communist and pinning it on them. And he mentioned that the way you solve this particular step is the child is the communist because he wants a day off of work to spend with his father. That is how it is, like, parsed in the quest. This is the situation, you know, the meme, that was when he that was when he realized that he had fucked up. This is the first one of those we run into. Because, I don't know why, I just decided, hey, let's rush the Super Mutants. I think it was because I saw Super Mutant King and just decided to run at them. I decided to focus on him because he was level 10, and I thought that would be smarter, but then you see, yeah, half my health gone in one hit. Just absolutely, you know, murderlated. Not exactly a comfortable place to be, but at the same time, I'm a dumbass for running in. And then Aiden, you will see in the distance, getting murdered as the ground vibrates below me. And dead. Now, this was so remote because no one is even close to the same area. It wasn't even like an issue of, gee, we had better get back there as quickly as possible. We did, but, well, I did. Unfortunately, at this point, Aiden was actually dropped from the server, so we had to hope that his stuff did not despawn and that he could get back in at all after the troubles we had been having. My thought on the matter, though, is as long as you are actively within that zone, those things will not despawn. And I think that's a very smart way of doing it, because we basically experienced things that would lead me to believe that's the case. So, basically, I ran back and guarded our bags to wait. I voted anything I thought was relatively interesting because, you know, why not? But to be perfectly honest, there's just a lot. I keep saying that. I'm sorry about that. It's 3:30 a.m. right now. And I really should just stop mentioning that shit too. But the majority of it was fun, even just wandering around. And, in a Bethesda game, it's always fun. Like, a large portion of the fun just comes from wandering around. So, that's kinda to be expected. But, just decided to torment deer for a little while. By this time, Aiden was actually back. Anyway, I don't think that was where he dropped. I think he dropped from the game later. But we saw this and we thought, oh, this is going to be cool. This is a giant settlement. We'll be able to just run in there and it's going to be exciting. And, well, it's not challenging. It was, well, you may as well watch. It's not, like, not challenging. It's just, you see a settlement like this and you think, okay, there's going to be, like, turrets and yada yada. Then again, the zones do apparently spawn in at the highest party member's level or one or two above it, unless they're set at a very high level by default, like some we run into later. So it's entirely possible that there will be way more stuff at later levels, and we weren't even supposed to be here at this level. I have no idea why that Scorch had a quest marker on them, but they did, and meh.
estate, Ernest. So here you go. Gad is the gold mine. The town that was here may have been gone for ages, but between what they left and the gear from the last batch of muck farmers, I could be here for a long while digging it up. There's barely a trickle of water after the dam busted. There are ridges poking out of the mud all over the place. I've already built a home of my own. It isn't much. I'm trying to claim my spot before scavengers show up looking to pounce on my goods. That's why I need your help, Ernest. I know you got guys looking for work over in Beckley. About those machines taking jobs from hard-working miners. Tell whoever will listen that I am offering twice what you're making hauling coal to come up to New Gad and lend a hand. Oh, and whatever digging or mining gear they've got will be great too. Might need to bring some protection as well. Someone built a shack only a stone's throw away. And it's only gonna get more crowded.
Yeah, as you may have noticed, a lot of this game revolves around gear management, and that's fine. I was actually kind of interested in this whole thing, because I guess this lake, ocean, well, not ocean, this harbor has completely dried up. So the docks just sitting there and being converted into houses makes a decent amount of sense. It would be safe, high ground. You'd probably be able to rig it so that, you know, it was, I don't know, somewhere you could easily fortify, aside from it being incredibly flammable and all. But I just found the design of this kind of neat. It felt very, very much like Far Harbor, which, you know, makes sense because it was in a seaside area. But it just had that vibe, and also the rad rats. Tremendous pain in the ass to shoot. Like, absolutely tremendous pain in the ass. I can't remember Strawberry Park Bubblegum at. You know, I never actually checked to see if those appear as food. I'll bet they do. Not so fat she really should see a doctor, I'm concerned. Lovely. Just trying to remember anything. I really am only going with an int build for the time being. I did take a point of strength pretty much entirely by accident, but I wanted to see how difficult it would be, because int will get you a lot of the item modification cards, like just a ridiculous number of them. So I wanted to see how dangerous that would be, like your life expectancy compared to the ability to upgrade equipment. Oh yeah, B.E.T.A Manor. This was an interesting find. I really wish we could put down a place in Make a Base here. This would be just neat. I have also been grabbing all of the toilet paper I see, because the fact that it exists is amusing to me, because it doesn't exist in any of the future Fallout games, and that is obviously because people have used it up. It makes sense, but I just kind of got a little more joy out of that than I really should have. Tiny details amuse me. Another manor house in this area. There's a lot of those, and I actually kind of like that. It's like the rich people's side of town. I'm sure they're based on some real neighborhood or even real houses or real landmarks, but it's just little details, little things like that, kind of fun. So, oh yeah, the pitchfork I actually liked, but I didn't end up using that much because I constantly ended up with bullets and didn't see much of a point in switching out, because this gun is actually still basically the best gun I ran into. Unfortunately, Aiden kept like having his weapons break because he just was not getting weaponry. Yes, Forky Pokey. That's probably the best weapon from my point of view. So I have to get a drink of water. Like I said, I've got a really nasty cold. My girlfriend has it too, and it might turn into bronchitis because she has a habit of having that happen. None of you know what I'm talking about or care, but like I said, exhausted and just kind of battling. Is me going, "We're going in, I don't care what you have to say," and poor Aiden just going, "Yeah, okay." I had a habit of railroading. But honestly, there's... Oh God, I don't even know if I covered a fifth of the map in this playthrough. Probably not. And there's just so much stuff. I love the environments. They are so cool. There's a walking cane mod. I found a walking cane earlier, but I broke it down because I am not a smart person. The houses are really neatly designed and very unique on the inside. And I really enjoyed that because I didn't feel like moving from one house to the other in this part of town like they were just copy-pasted. I really want to get to the Greenbrier, or whatever it's called in this universe, because, I mean, it's, a safe zone, which would be nice to be able to find. I mean, not versus other players, but it's safe versus a lot of monsters. I don't know if I edited it out or not. I think I did, but one thing that we kept actually having a problem with was just constantly running into the fucking Scorch Beast everywhere we went. I mean, I thought that was supposed to be a little bit more rare, so it's just a bit, like, I imagine it was supposed to be like a Skyrim dragon. I mean, I know they're not rare at all towards the end of the game, but I just felt like it should be a little bit more surprising when we see it, as opposed to, fuck, let's just strafe around this mountain and hope. I probably did it out. It happened during a lot of large stretches of nothing, and to be honest, it didn't even slow us down that much. We just went, oh look, it's the giant monster dragon thing that will destroy all of us. Let's go this way instead. This was another neat little area. It's just a random shack we came across in the middle of the wilderness that's like a scenic overlook thing. It would make a really great place to set up a base, once again, if you could set up a base here. But unfortunately, it's full of mole rats, and they're absolute bastards, which I think is something I've said about nearly every monster in this game thus far. But at no point in time has it ever been a lie or an exaggeration. I know that a lot of people are going to go, oh, you should just use iron sights, or oh, you should just use X, Y, or Z, but to be honest, my hands have always shaken pretty bad. I actually do better with a controller when playing a first-person shooter than I do with a keyboard and mouse. And I know there's a lot of people who will disbelieve this, for it does not follow the logic with which they game. But, sorry. I mean, you might as well. This friend who once called me Shakes McGinty, and it's not inaccurate. I just, I'm now just making noises and not even providing interesting commentary. Though interesting, this is the area that was the most interesting to me because I had not seen anyone else get here. I haven't watched everyone's videos, but I was super excited about this because it is a very different area and it's very unique looking on the map, and there's some really cool, fascinating structures in it. And remember how earlier I mentioned this is where he realized he had fucked up meme? This is the second of those events. Because, I mean, there's not anything around right now. But things go from bad to worse right now. Yep, that is a level 30 cave cricket. And this is where we are at this point just yelling we're not supposed to be here. Which, fair reaction, because we were running for our lives in sheer terror. Also, cave crickets, real thing, assholes in real life, just so you know. Not that large, but you will occasionally get them through, like, your sewer pipes or something, and we have a habit of having that happen. There's not really much you can do about it other than kill them, except they are apparently made out of tanks. Or at least tank material, because I'm a big boy. I can stomp really hard. It does not kill them. I have used everything short of an actual hammer, and then wolves join in, by the way. The cave crickets are still chasing us, but we just ran into wolves. In case you're wondering how far the aggro range is on those cave crickets, like, at what point will they decide to give up and go home? We actually don't know. They do not stop. We think they have stopped at this point. But nope, still following us. But yeah, actually the only way that I found to be able to kill a cave cricket in real life is with a heavy blunt object where you smash them very quickly, or put your heel on them and then pirouette so that you just kind of grind them into powder. Well, not powder, goo. So, yeah, once again, running. Safer at this point to jump down a cliff face than it is to stick around. Interesting looking area, which was kind of the main reason I started going, hey, I'll run this way, it's safe. And, Aiden's actually dead, as you can see. And stopped to heal. Actually, stopped to try and put down camp. And dead. Yeah. That was kind of to be expected, in all fairness. I was not exactly being smart. So, I don't know if you hear those noises, but they're actually at least a little bit important. Because I'm just like, alright, I'm gonna get back, get my stuff, and then that. I mean, granted, I think it's fighting Scorched at that point. Looks like there was one up in the balcony of that building. But for some dumbass reason, I'm just like, you know what? Let's shoot it and see what happens. In case you had any questions about what happens when you shoot it, the answer is actually almost nothing. It is, I think at this point, about 4 levels my superior. And I just take off running. Thankfully, it's too obsessed with the Scorch and doesn't want to have anything to do with me. This is actually where Aiden lost connection and was having trouble getting back in. So, once again, I went to guard his stuff. Thankfully, no players were anywhere near here at this point. Man, I got back in. But, yeah. It was, then that Aiden decided that he's going to kill the fucking thing. Just, like, straight up, he decided that he wanted it dead, and you know what? I kind of decided that I wanted it dead, too. So, we both just... And here's a moment where I don't know why I bothered killing a super mutant. There was no valid reason. It was a waste of time, effort, health, and ammo. Actually, no, this isn't where he decided he wanted to kill it. That was me going, turn around, behind you. But yeah, then he decides that, you know, let's fucking kill it. Because why not? Even if we don't kill it, we at least damn well tried. Because, you know, we're not going to get to play the game for a while longer. We might not get to play it together longer. Let's do every insane thing we can do. And he's like then, hey, grenades. Like, oh, those exist. I've forgotten about them entirely because I'm a dumbass. And they do a pretty decent clip. I do, however, thankfully have Molotovs. They don't do a goddamn thing compared to the grenades, but, you know, at least it clears inventory space, too. I wonder what it's throwing, though. I don't actually know if that's oil or blood or dirt or mud or... I don't know. It does look like it's pulling it out of its asshole, though. Yeah, but we actually managed to kill it, which startled me. I mean, I know it's only level 10, but it's a big monster. But, once again, useful loot. This was just us wandering around through the area still. There's not much here that's of particular note, but it was kind of neat still. I say neat a lot, but it's just because I'm enjoying the new experience so much at this point.
Approach and identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens will not be harmed.
This manor house ended up bugging me a little bit because I kept feeling like we were missing something. Like there was something hidden in here that we couldn't find, and if we managed to unravel its delicious secrets, there might be special loot. It's probably worth going back to eventually to check out, but God, I ended up... I mean, it's actually really good to have that at that high. You know, chemist, or... Not chemist. Was that chemist? Probably. It's, yeah. It's growing later and later, and my ability to progress cognacious thunk is going away by the moment. But you could climb all over this house, which tells me there's probably stuff hidden here that we just never found. There was one thing that actually ended up catching our attention. Aiden actually found on the other side one of Bethesda's famous little teddy bear slash building blocks images, which, you know, or little Easter eggs, which is Hubba Hubba. That's cute. I honestly like the details Bethesda puts into things. They put like super detail into strange things, and then sometimes no detail into important things. The majesty of a weird-ass game studio run by weird-ass people. So this is another one of those little Bethesda touches too, just like I was talking about this holotape.
Hey,
I'll let you listen to it really quickly
I know we're
before
just supposed to leave useful things in the dead drop, so we don't take up a lot of space, but I wanted to tell you something. You're so practical and thoughtful, and you always notice the good stuff first, and you always give me things so I can make it out here. You're really special to me. I'm sorry if this makes you mad to hear, but you probably don't like me like that. I know I was a grade behind you when this war happened. I guess we have to take chances now, though, right? I'll wait for you in the big cabin where we stayed during the field trip, and maybe we can talk about it, okay?
Yeah, little things like that, when you find bits of people's humanity, just feel really weird. Oh, also kind of like really connecting to someone who I already know by default is dead. This was actually a kind of funny thing because Aiden had to step away to do something, and I was like, I wonder if you can jump in through this window. And hopped on through, and then literally shrieked. Because I had not been expecting that. Like, he was AFK, so he had, you know, or at least had taken off his headset, so he missed that. 10mm pistols started showing up around this level, which is nice. They're not actually any better than this shitty gun, but at least it means new you know, new loot drops, new things I'm seeing cycle through. Once again, this is another building. I feel like there's probably something big. I did like the house teapot, though. I kind of would keep that. If I could display things in my camp without someone just walking up and taking them. It's like, oh, they can steal from you and it goes wanted. Well, that's the other thing about the wanted system that I should have mentioned. Someone can rob any container in your camp other than your base. Like, your crafting tables and your camp itself are fine. Their inventory is untouchable. But if you build something like a foot locker and put it in your base, apparently, you have to put a lock on it. If you don't put a lock on it, they can just walk up and take stuff from it, and they'll never get in trouble. If you don't put a lock on it, or if you do put a lock on it, they can still steal from it. But they then get a wanted level. The idea is, I suppose, they will drop whatever junk they are carrying, and that will give you an advantage to, you know, or a chance to get it back. But it only drops the junk they're carrying. So if you have a gun, a melee weapon, a piece of armor, or something like that in your inventory, it's gone. They just get to keep it, and now their wanted level is gone, and if they didn't have a particularly large amount of caps, then you basically get nothing in return, and they can fuck off with all of your stuff. I kept looking around again just because I felt like I was missing something. I probably did. I'm sure someone, if they watched this video closely, would go, "You're a dumbass, you missed, like, the best weapon in the game, yada, yada, yada." Actually, there will be someone who will say that even if it's not true, because that's how the internet do. But, it's still learning. No one knows where anything is yet, and I like that. This was also a neat area. I think this is based off of a real monument or something similar I've seen in person. I swear to God, I might have seen something else, but we were actually freaking out because of the level 14 Protectron, and then killed it with, like, moderate to no effort. Bobby pins were nice. Lead scrap, very important. That's where Aiden set me on fire. But the thing I did not realize at the time, and you're gonna see around, is all of the picket signs on the ground are actually functional weapons. I did not know that. I grabbed a bunch of them just because I thought they were hilarious. And I was trying to figure out a way I might be able to use them as base decorations. But I just thought that they were rather cute little additions. So, yeah, like one's jobs. Yeah. You know, this is after Aiden had actually gone because he was exhausted, and I was just out by myself, fucking around. I decided to just explore and not care about where I went or how dangerous it might be and see what I came across. It's a lot of fun, to be perfectly honest, just dicking about, and I can't quite remember what I came across here because there's not too much. I mean, I just found it because it's a neat location. The idea of the air purifier station itself was just a little bit different. So this is an area I discovered that was a little bit out of my league. And I decided once again that the wisest possible course of action would be to run the fuck away. However, remember the lesson we learned with the cave crickets? Yeah, that applies to super mutants as well. Things just get a bug up their ass and decide to follow you, but apparently I was able to avoid him and find this area, and this is actually, the cat is sitting next to me making so much noise, I won't be surprised if it makes, there it shows up on the microphone. How do you make that much noise cleaning? So, anyway, but this is actually a merchant. If you see it on your map, it is a train icon. I don't know why I decided to just wander into view like a dumbass. But after that comes the part that I'm sure most people are going to be interested in. I think. Oh, no. These were these neat towers that had some sort of quest associated with them that I didn't have. And a very, very large graphical error that I knew nothing about. This area was... I'd love to know what's in here. I have to find a key card. I'll bet this is one of the nuclear bunkers, to be honest. And I hope I said nuclear and not nuclear. I'm so exhausted I don't even know what words are coming out of my mouth. But these buildings were really cool. There were like 3 of them. They actually show or have drawn icons on the map. So, yeah, the Garen Estate. I don't know if it's anything special or fancy or... Well, obviously it's got something there if it's locked, so... I should say I don't know if this is vaguely based off of something in real life or not. But I'd love to get inside of that and see. I don't even remember why I was headed in this direction in particular at this point. I think I just picked a direction because there's only like 20 minutes left. And that's when I spotted this guy. For those of you who don't know, those guys carry the nuclear launch key codes. Which is why I'm guessing that the bunker was nearby. So yes, I actually found part of a nuclear launch code. But what is more interesting is the area I find right up here. Apparently you can activate quests of any level. And yeah, I pick up a level 25 quest that I think level 8 might even just be level 7. Can't remember at this point. And it's odd because I think, well, a level 25 quest probably isn't really going to be something I can do in this. Well, I can't do it. But that probably means the area it's in, which is in the mine over there, is going to be, like, that area is going to be just full of death and hatred and pain. And I'm only slightly right about that. It's actually full of mobs that are my level because everything in this game, or every zone in this game, tends to activate at your level. So, I check out here. I think there was... I can't remember what was out here, but... There, the reception terminal has nothing on it. I don't know if that's by design or by derp, but it happens. The actual thing that surprised me is how little I pay attention to what I'm doing and how not smart I am when it comes to stealth, because stealth is really a good option, to be honest. And like right here, that was really quick, took care of an enemy. I don't even have that much in stealth, and I just take him out no problem. Interesting billboard there for special excavator power armor. So to be, you know, spoilery, yes, I find the blueprints for that. Sadly, I don't find any of the armor, but there is a full set of the blueprints in one of the terminals. I know that kind of like startles, you know, that kind of betrays the whole surprise, I guess. But I didn't really see much of a point in not saying it. Because I told you I sort of found power armor at the start, and it's almost the end at this point. I do like this base, actually. It's not particularly overpopulated or dangerous. It was actually challenging. It was one of the, like I said, it was one of the first things that wasn't either formulaic combat or chaos. Like, I actually had to think and miss an 83% chance because, well done. Well done, me. But I actually missed a lot of stuff through this room. But at this point, like I said, there's like 15 minutes left, so I was kind of starting to panic and not pay attention to everything. I wish there had been a power armor frame in there. I think there's a chance of them generating whenever you enter the cell. But I hope that the power armor scan would mean that it would deploy power armor to me from somewhere, but it did not. And then I decided to open this door like a dumbass and just alert all the mobs in that room on top of the mob that was already coming to find me. And then just absolutely lose my mind and miss everything. But, hey, yeah, I was level 7 at the time. So, level 8, I mean, I'm doing fairly well. I know other people did a lot better just by doing the events and following the storyline, but for just absolutely, you know, wandering off on my own, I think that was pretty good. Unfortunately, then I screw up here because we're going to just, you know, combine both pack rat perks, which means I can't use them with the other very useful perk I have. So, oopsie doodle. Oh, no, but I can't. I have 3 strength. I must have... How many points did I accidentally put in strength? Or maybe I was on a drug or something at the time. I can't even remember. That sounds healthy. But I think... I can't remember where it... Yeah, right here. This terminal in this room. And yes, I see the power armor on the workbench next to me. Yeah, the Excavator Blueprint module gives you a full set of blueprints for the Excavator Power Armor. Unfortunately, I don't think I even bothered looking at... Or I don't know if I bothered looking at the map again. But this is just me searching through the place, trying to make sure I get everything down. And I actually spot, in this wall crevice, a statue of the Excavator Power Armor. And it's pretty cool, honestly. This is not me just wandering away. This is me attempting to find some sort of way to get in there, as I realize I have now just... I'm dumb and wandering way too far. But I was trying to see if there's a way to get in there and if it was real power armor, but I come back and look and realize, no, it's just a statue, and there is no getting into that, which saddens me. And I come back in here to give this room a look, and also break down garbage. I also then realized, oh wait, I hear a fusion core. Well, I hear a fusion generator, so I ran to the quest marker to see if, like, maybe somehow the power armor in it just hadn't spawned, and like it would activate if I went to the quest marker. This one I just decided to break down absolutely anything that isn't super useful, like when I either at this level or a later level, because it's gonna unlock all sorts of blueprints for me, and that's useful in and of itself. I just had to keep the... I was debating breaking down the T-45 left arm pretty heavily. You know, I was actually like, oh, whatever, I'm not gonna get it. And then I look over and there's just, you know, I'm pretty sure there's more armor in this room and I just missed it. But for some reason I just wander around aimlessly for a moment and then grab another piece of armor. Which, you know, is nice. I'd like to get... I'm a power armor junkie. I'd like to get a full set of it. It would be a nice thing, but I don't see that... Like, I'm not going to have multiple sets of power armor. chemistry workbench plan. I had previously, in another area, found, like, the tinker bench plan that lets you make ammunition. Pristine miner's uniform, which is nice. But then I finally stumbled upon the helmet, and I was actually very excited at the exact moment it said the server's going down, and I start panicking. Because I am trying to find out how the hell to get out of there as quickly as possible. And, let me tell you, I just lose my tiny, fluffy little mind. And I do not do well in stress. But I make it back. I make it back and get everything put away. And I'm told I may get to keep this, or at least get to have it through the next beta. So I was very excited about being able to bring something back. I dropped down my tinker's bench in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere. That's when I realized I haven't opened my chemistry station bench yet, and start, you know, working on that. And everything is feeling actually a little bit laggy, I noticed at this point for some reason. And things aren't quite working the way they should. Like my brain, because I completely missed the chemistry station thing. And I was like, okay, this is cool, I'm gonna... And then it dies. But I had a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks guys. This was a thing I did.